Hello, on behalf of the Grassroots Racing Network, I want to welcome you to tonight's coverage of the virtual 32nd annual Myrtle Beach 400, brought to you by iRacing and the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. My name is Ryan Pittman, alongside my co-host Noah Evans. Tonight, 13 drivers will partake in a 125-lap battle around this half-mile facility known as the Myrtle Beach Speedway for an event in which made its inaugural appearance right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in 1993. For 27 consecutive years, the Myrtle Beach Speedway hosted the Crown Jewel event all the way up until its untimely closure in 2020 and eventual demolition later that following year. However, the legacy continues as the event was brought new life when the Florence Motor Speedway adopted the event and has held host to the race ever since. Tonight's event for the iRacing event here for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League will be 125 laps around this half-mile facility. What an amazing track, Noah. And the racing we're going to see here, the track is slick. The tires are going to wear. We have one set of tires in the pits, one set on the car. What do you expect to see from these 13 drivers as they get ready for tonight's event?
Well, as old as the track as this is, and this is obviously built in 1958, one of the more historic short tracks in the South, and obviously 14 or 13-degree bank turns, and definitely an odd layout here as 1 and 2 are a lot more tighter than 3 and 4, so expect a lot of tire wear down there. But as these drivers are going to be throwing these cars into the corners, we're going to see how good you are at conserving your tires and keeping your car stuck on the track.
Yeah, no, and there's some very reputable drivers in as far as iRacing goes in this event tonight. Obviously, you see the 21, that is RJ Williams, crew and member on the Landon Huff machine, a driver that is well known to late model stock racing, looking to see if he can capture a virtual version of the Myrtle Beach 400. Then we also have some drivers like Mitch Drunowski and our Kyle Flynn right here in the number 22 as well, making his first appearance here at Myrtle Beach and in the league. So looking to see what he can get done, but it looks like we may be getting ready to have our cars finish up their practice and warming up, and we might be getting ready to go onto the grid here momentarily. As we get ready for the grid, let's see if we can pull up the starting grid. Noah, you want to go through the starting lineup here?
Absolutely. RJ Williams is going to be starting on the pole position with a 19.196 lap, a blazing fast lap for that number 21 machine. Kyle Martin is going to be in the second position. Brandon Forsale in the third position in that number 82. Matt Vordran in the number 07 is going to be in the fourth position. Kyle Flynn in his first start, putting that number 22 machine on the first 3 rows. And Justin Walbring is going to bring home 6th position. Ray Andrews is going to round out the 7th position, and Brian Johnson is going to be in row number 8. Marka Barub and Tracy Petter are going to round out row number 5, and Mitch Drunowski and Stephen Heiss is going to be 11th and 12th position. And 13th is in the number 77 for Southern E Motorsports is going to be Evan Amick.
All right, fantastic. As we look and see, we're getting ready for the cars to start to fire and rolling momentarily. Some of the things that you kind of see here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, you talked about the uniqueness of turns number 1 and down into the corner. It's almost kind of like if you've driven like Hickory. The entry into 1 is not exactly symmetrical. It's a bit asymmetrical to be exact. And that can have a big effect on how you try to get into the track and how you enter into that corner. It can lead to a couple of issues as well, as it opens up on entry but closes up very fast as you exit into 2.
Absolutely. Like we saw in practice, you saw a lot of these guys just kind of slinging that car in the corner, not really wanting as much traction, just so you can kind of get settled in the middle of the corner to get a good exit off, and we're going to see a lot of that going into 1 and 2 today. But as the night goes on, you're going to see a lot of these drivers slow down that exit, try to conserve their tires, and not nearly wear it out as much as they're going to as pace car lights are going off, Ryan.
Pace car lights are off, as we go down the back straightaway for one last time before we get this thing rolling. 125 laps, as we mentioned. Pace car is off. It's going to be carried by the 21. There, as you see, going through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. RJ Williams, Kyle Martin to his outside. For the final time, 125 laps getting rolling. The anticipation is building, and we are green for the first time here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
RJ Williams going to be leading this field to green to his outside. It's the number 13 machine of Kyle Martin. That number 21 Pontiac Firebird already out to a decent lead here over the 13 of Martin. Chasing down Martin now is the 82 of Versailles, and he is trying to get up there as much as he can. Martin still chasing down the Pontiac Firebird.
Battle for, I believe, 5th right here as you see the 22 of Kyle Flynn looking to the inside of the 127 of Justin Walbring. Kyle Flynn has something to see to prove here. As we mentioned, his first start here is it looks like he gets a little bit loose off the 4th turn, trying to get to the inside of number 127.
Well, that 22 looks bad fast in practice and in qualifying. He's got a statement to make. He's a rookie. He wants to show he belongs in this series, and he is here to stay. And watch out for that number 22 of Kyle Flynn all night long. In the meantime, up front, R.J. Williams still out to a good lead. He is now once again under threat from the number 13 of Kyle Martin. Looking down into turns number 1 and 2, he couldn't get there. Is he going to try to make a move into 3 and 4? He gets right up to the bumper of that number 21 off of turn 4.
Battle for the lead continues to heat up as well as we see, as you mentioned, the number 13, Kyle Martin, looking to see if he can get to the outside, making an outside work almost, but not yet. The 21 still holding him off down the back straightaway.
That number 13 trying to just pressure that number 21 here. You can see right on the bumper that number 13 Toyota Camry eyeing down that Firebird of R.J. Williams. Looking, can't quite get there. Looking down on the back straightaway. Will he get there? Trying to clear that number 21. Can't quite get there.
Not quite. The battle for the lead is starting to heat up early on into this event. We talked about how big the tire wear is going to be. Is the number 13 maybe overstepping that bound just a little bit here early on, just trying to get the lead? But as we know, in a late model stock, that lead can be ever so important as well. You can maintain that pace. You can control the pace. You can control the race from that position. And some drivers, they just want to get up front.
Martin makes contact with the wall going down the front straightaway. He got loose off of turn 4. And what you said about controlling the pace of this race, the 21 of Williams is staying calm, cool, and collected, but he is not giving that number 13 any sort of lane or any sort of shot to get down, but he might have given him one here, looking down into 1 and 2.
You look for the in-car view. He's going to look to the outside once again of the 21 of R.J. Williams. R.J. Williams powering off the corner as he gets a little bit loose and jumps back to the outside. Does number 13.
Trying to get there. Williams still on the inside line. Martin trying to find any way he can around that Firebird of R.J. Williams. Can't quite get there, and like you said, is the 13 overdriving this? The 21 is staying a lot more calm as finally the 13 is going to get to the inside, almost makes contact with the 21, but Williams is going to lead once again off of turn 4.
Man, I tell you, in this battle, the driver who is loving it the most is the number 82 machine of Brennan Forsteel. Sees these guys duking it out up front. Now he also has a big heavy head of the number 00 of Matt Vordrain in his back bumper as well. He can't relax too much. But the battle for the lead once again continues.
That is exactly what you want to see if you were that number 82 machine. These two going at it up front, and you can see the gap was massive early on to start this race. But that 82 and the 00 of Matt Vordran has shown up in these last couple of laps here, and they are breathing down the neck of Kyle Martin.
Once again, as we mentioned, the number 13 looking back down to the outside as you get a good view from the back bumper camera. Absolutely hounding the back bumper of that Pontiac Firebird of R.J. Williams. Looking to see if that veteranness of the number 21 can continue to hold him off. And that's kind of the position, once again, you kind of put yourself in as the leader. How hard are you willing to fight for that lead position, or is it just worth letting him go?
And so far, he's given him a couple shots, but the 13 has just overdriven it and just has not been able to hold on to any sort of position. Right now, that number 21 knows where he's strong. He knows where the 13 is going to mess up. R.J. Williams still holding strong here on lap 15.
So once again, top 4 cars continues to be R.J. Williams, Kyle Martin, the number 13 in second, Brennan Forsteel in third, and Matt Vordrain holds off in the 4th position. It is about a 4-car breakaway up front to 13, looking to the outside, looking to try to get a run down the front straightaway. Almost makes contact. They do make contact into 1.
R.J. Williams into the wall, and a massive hit for the number 21. Caution flag is going to come out here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The first caution of the night comes early, and it's between Kyle Martin and R.J. Williams, and a massive hit for the number 21 machine. As let's see what kind of damage that number 21 has, and a lot of right front damage on the number 21.
Now, fortunately, on this iRacing platform, virtually, we do allow them the benefit of one for fast repair in this iRacing event, so I'm sure that fast repair will be used for the number 21 here. But let's go ahead and take a look at that incident to see if we can look and see what happened between the 21 and the 13.
The 13 got the outside lane. The 21 just kind of followed him up there, and just heavy contact between the two, and not what you wanted to see if you're that number 21, or not what you wanted to feel, especially. And you can see right there, the 21 is going to start following the 13 up, and it almost looks like the 13 tries to come down a little bit.
Yeah, that may have been, man, what an impressive camera angle that we have there. But yeah, I think it was just kind of one of those things that just happens in short track racing. And I think the 13 almost kind of started having it for the number 21. I think the 21 was kind of running them close, running them up into the corner, and the 13 eventually was just like, hey, I'm there, and I'm keeping my nose there.
And it looked just like a convergence of lines. I mean, you could see the 21 trying to come up, the 13 trying to go low, and I definitely do not think there's any vengeance behind that number 13, and he's going to be pulling into the pits to use his quick repair, and that's going to put for Seal up in front of the number 82. And like Richard Petty said, you got to put yourself in a position to win, and so far that's what that number 82 has done.
Yeah, R.J. Williams once again back down pit road. In this series, you do operate by short track rules here, so both the 13 and the 21, when we get the one to go, will be getting an EOL, and they'll be at the back of the field. Well, this shakes things up a little bit here, Noah, as we had two of the fast guys up out front, and all of a sudden both of them will be at the tail of the field. Both of them have used up their fast repair. Now becomes the number 82 of Brennan for Seal and the number 07, or the number 00 Buckshot, on the screen in second.
Tracy Petter's going to be in third position, and they've put themselves in another position to get up in front early. And the 79 was definitely chasing down the leaders there at the end, and obviously that caution came out, so that's going to bunch the field back up together. But right now, Brennan for Seal is going to be the man up in front, followed by Matt Vorndran and Tracy Petter. That's going to be your top three here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Yeah, Tracy Petter in the number 79, we were talking about him. He is one of those drivers that is absolutely blazing fast in this series. A driver that has a lot of reputable wins on the iRacing platform. More known to be a modified driver on that side of things, but is very handy in a late model stock. Has also gotten it done in the Snowball Derby here on iRacing in the top split as well. So a very, very quick driver in that number 79 machine.
Speaking of heavy hitting drivers, Connor Knowlton, who has 8 wins so far in this series, did not make the cut for tonight's race. And an unfortunate end to that number. I don't know what number Knowlton is, but unfortunate to him that he did not make the cut tonight. But going back green here, it's going to be the 82 of For Seal, the 00 on the outside, coming to the green flag. Vorndran for Seal, going to lead us off to green here. And we're going back green at Myrtle Beach.
Brennan for Seal takes that wide arc into one, no competition down to the bottom. That is one of the nice things about the racetrack and the way it opens up into one. If you establish yourself a nice little lead, you can really open up your entry getting into that first turn and extend your lead off of 4.
Absolutely. We were just speaking about Tracy Petter, and that number 79 now is hot on the heels of Brennan for Seal, and he has put himself in amazing position, fought his way up on the restart to get past Vorndran, and he is now chasing down the 82 of Brennan for Seal, and we're going to see all night long what that number 79 can do. How conservative is he going to be? We know that we're not even halfway into, not even a quarter way into this race yet. It's going to be interesting to see what these top 3 drivers up front are going to do for the rest of the night.
Yeah, looking at it again, the number 79. Looking at the last lap times, 19.339 for that 79 machine to a 19.447 for your leader. That 79 machine is coming.
trying to chase down Brennan Furseal. Petter, like you said, known as a modified driver, has won the Snowball Derby before, and look at that. Look at just how much faster he is in 3 and 4. That's where he's going to make up his time, is down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4. But 1 and 2, he just cannot quite get there to the 82, and that's where he's going to gap him right there.
Let's go ahead and go up through the field. We kind of talked about the number 82 machine continues to lead the field in the second position. Tracy Petter, Matt Vordrain here in third, Kyle Flynn in fourth, and Justin Walbring, a very good outing for him, holds off the back end of the top 5. Ray Andrews in sixth, RJ Williams making his way back up through the field in seventh, Brian Johnson in eighth, Kyle Martin in ninth, and 10th, Mitch Drunowski.
51 is Stephen Heitz, and he's going to be in 11th position, and the 12th position is going to be Evan Amick, and in the 13th position, the 99, Marco Baru.
Back up to the front of the field. Let's see if we can get a look at our leaders once again, hearing the scraping of the walls here in these late model stocks. Now these cars don't have a whole lot of power in them. They have just a little bit, just to barely slip the rears as you get off the corner, but using that throttle, you really almost at times have to be a little bit stompy on the throttle just to get the back end to kick around a little bit. Otherwise, you'll heat up that right front just a little bit too much, and you'll find yourself way too tight on a long run.
Absolutely. Myrtle Beach is very much a driver's track with the way it's laid out, the way the turns are. As we're going to look up front here, the 79 looks down low and can't quite get there. And this might be Tracy Petter's time to strike, as he is going to be breathing down the neck of that number 82 machine. You can see right there, off of turn 4, Petter looking down to the inside. Furseal going to throw a block to 79, going to look down low. Here comes Tracy Petter.
Tracy Petter looking to see if he can get it done once again. Let's get a look on the inside view as he looks down on the back bumper, hounding the back bumper of the number 82.
You can see how much that 79 is just working that wheel, trying to get down low. That 82 is running much faster on that middle line, and it looks like they have found their mojo and have found their line, running that middle in 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4, and it is just working out right now. Everything playing in favor for the number 82 of Brennan Furseal.
Look how smooth he is on that steering wheel as he navigates his way around this half-mile facility. Almost had to hear him breathe off the throttle. Yes, you hear him breathe off the throttle once again right there. Not sure if the car is getting tight or if it's getting a little bit loose on him off the corners, but very, very smooth on the wheel is Tracy Petter.
You can see the gap now Furseal has done. They have finally found somewhere that they are comfortable running. And this is going to open up the door for Matt Vordrain to try to get up into that top 2 position as he's trying to chase down Tracy Petter. And it looks like that 79 has gotten just a little bit tight. And you can see just the flow that the 82 has coming off of the corners and just going into the corners. Smooth as butter, and caution flag is going to come out.
We'll see if we can take a look at it. I think it was the 127 car of Justin Walbring. Let's see if we can find him on the track, and where he's there on the pits now. Let's see if we can backtrack. Oh, was it again the 21?
21. Looks like it was a 21 again, and you can see coming off of 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. There's contact between the two. And the 127. It looks like something broke on that car.
Let's see if we can go to a different camera angle. Yeah, it's kind of tough to see. Maybe we can go on board with the 127. Let's see if, or maybe even the 21.
You still have that left rear cam that's on the.
So he's there to his outside, just a little bit of contact. Contact again, and the 127 just up into the wall. And you can see RJ just absolutely sawing on the race car. I don't know if he just got a little loose. I don't know. That's kind of tough to tell.
He is really loose coming down the back straightaway.
But either way, caution flag is out. RJ Williams and Justin Walbring, and I believe Justin Walbring is going to retire for the night.
An unfortunate end for the 127 in that car. Looks like it's pretty much killed, but in the meantime, up front, Brennan Furseal commanding this race so far. He's led the most laps, and now he's got to worry about another car. Matt Vordrain And that 00 Kit Kat machine was driving that car about as hard as I've seen anyone ever drive one. And he is breathing down the neck. Now, one thing I am concerned about, or not concerned about, where did the 79 go? He's dropped out of the top 5.
We'll see if we can find him. Tracy Petter was on pit road. Yeah.
We're getting tires. Wow, a really early decision there for the 79 and the 7 of Mitch Dranowski. And that's definitely a bold strategy for the 79 and the 7. We're going to see how that plays out later on tonight, as we're not even a quarter of the way into this race.
Let's see if we can take a look and see if he actually did indeed take tires, or if maybe it was a fuel thing. It might have just been a fuel or a fast repair. I'm not sure. But I don't think he took tires there. Not enough time for Mitch or Tracy Petter to take tires in that time.
Definitely odd to see the 7 and the 79 on pit road. We'll see what that was for later on.
Now, both these guys, as I've mentioned, are very, very good on this iRacing platform. And they know how to manipulate the car in certain ways. Now, you can kind of change the handling not by only taking tires, but maybe also adding a little bit of fuel to the car to kind of get the back end to step out just a little bit more. We were talking about that 79, maybe getting a little bit tight in the corner, maybe by adding a little bit of weight to the rear of the car, might be able to get that back end to slide around. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see.
You can see how much early on when he was chasing down the 82, how much he was struggling to just get down into the corner and how tight that car was. We're going to see if adding all that weight to the back will do anything, and it might do something for that number 79. And like you said, he's an excellent driver in this series, so we're going to see how that's going to play out for Tracy Petter. 21 stuck down low.
Let's go back up front. Pace car lights are out. We're going to let this thing roll once again. 37 laps into the race, 88 laps to go. At what point in this race, Evan, do you start to push a little bit? You've probably been saving just a little bit here. And we've had a couple cautions, but at what point do you begin to push your race car?
You want to start pushing, I would say about halfway for these guys, because the handling is going to change a lot more with the rest of these 88 laps. So I'd say about halfway. In the meantime, up front, Brennan Seal is going to lead us back to green with Warren Dran his outside.
Oh, looks like I think the pace car got waved around. I think we're gonna. Yeah. Pace car lights are out. Yet you see the pace car coming back out once again. Oh, we were all ready and excited for that start, Noah, and looks like we're gonna go around one more time. But yeah, we were talking about the time of the laps, and of course we have one set of tires in the pits, as we mentioned. So 32 laps into it, let's say about 62 laps is halfway through. Now might be the time to use the back half of your tires for this first set in preparation for your second.
Yeah, we're going to see how that's going to play out, as Brennan Seal has so far done a great job of conserving his tires. In the meantime, we're going back green here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Kyle Flynn is in the 3rd position, and take a look at the number 13 of Kyle Martin. Has fought his way back up from the back and is now on the attack of the number 22 of Kyle Flynn. He knows he can be up front. He knows he's an up front car, and he's going to try to battle his way back up front.
Kyle Flynn once again looking down to the inside of the 13 Kyle Martin looking down to the inside of Kyle Flynn. 2 Kyles here battling it out for the 3rd position. Kyle Martin able to advance his position up now to the podium in the back end.
Trying to hold off the 00 of Warren Dran. Martin on full attack mode, and like you said, a lot of different strategies are going to be at play right now. Martin looks like he's going to begin using what's left of his Hoosier tires, and is going to try to get to the bumper of Warren Dran. Look at the number 99 running that outside line. It's like he got loose or something, but the 21 as well of RJ Williams trying to battle his way back up front, but it just looks like some damage has been done to that car, and he is just struggling to keep it on the track.
We have got a hornet's nest of very, very fast drivers here in about the 7th, 8th, 9th position here, looking to see if they can get back up to the front. We talked about the 7 of Mitch Drunowski. The 7 of Mitch Drunowski on pit road once again. The 21 who had an EOL, and then the 79 back behind him who was also on pit road. Very, very fast drivers. They're going to be looking to get their way back up to the front and in a hurry. That's going to be a hard time for these lap down cars. Move these cars back towards the back of the pack as the 51 once again gets into the wall going into one.
It looks like something is off with that number 51 machine of Ray Andrews. He has done that the last 3 laps. It's going to be interesting to see. Let's take a ride along here with the guy behind the number 51. That's going to be RJ Williams. It just looks like the 51 just drifts up a lot there going down the front stretch. So interesting to see what's wrong with that number 51. But RJ Williams, you can see how much he is fighting this car. And he closes the door.
Oh, contact and 21 wow. Going around. Man, that was near disaster for the number 21 machine.
Well, that'll definitely wake you up right there for the number 21. And a massive scare there for RJ Williams. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened there.
Yeah, what did happen there? You know, it was a little bit...
79?
Oh, did the 51 hit the wall?
Looks like the 51 hit the inside wall, and that is Stephen Heights, I believe. See
if we can get maybe a better camera angle here.
Oh, he does hit the inside wall and taps the 22. Wow. Oh, big look back there, big crash. The 22 gets broadsided by the 77 right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Big hit for both cars. Wow, a Mick gets into the 22 of Kyle Flynn. Caution is out once again. That's the second car we've seen get airborne here at Myrtle Beach today.
iRacing may have to update their car physics after this event. But Evan Amick getting a little bit of damage as well. In that beautiful South Carolina machine, Evan Amick, home to South Carolina, calls South Carolina his home. Certainly not the night that he was expecting. Hopefully he's still got a faster pair up in the bag.
Looks like he does. He hasn't come down pit road yet. But like you were talking about the strategy early on, it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out with a lot of these drivers so far have not pitted for tires yet. We're going to see who does heavy damage to the 22 of Kyle Flynn, and he's going to come down pit road and use what is more than likely his faster pair. Let's see what's going on there with the 22.
Oop,
you can see
there it goes.
Faster pair. You can see if he's taking fuel, it looks like. He could be taking tires as well.
Certainly possible. It's within that range. You know, I did a test of this race before firing it up, and I did all 125 laps on the same set of tires all the way through, from start to finish. And by the end of it, I had 4% on my right rear, 4% tread remaining.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to want to run this full race here, and it's going to be interesting. The 22 coming down pit road again. Looks like he might be taking tires.
Certainly
see what's
possible.
Going on there.
Now, Noah, I had a buddy of mine. We were talking about tire wear and such. He's like, "Well, you see, when you think about it this way, you go through 100% of your tire, but then after that, you've got 100% of your rim left to go." So
yeah, exactly. You got an extra tire.
We're back up front. Let's see. I'm sure we'll be looking at probably the 2 or 1 to go here momentarily.
Yeah, it's more likely going to be two to go here. Well, we talked about early on, Brennan Forseal was sitting pretty in the 3rd position. Watched the 21 and the 13 had that massive wreck up in front and just absolutely took control of this race. He's taken control once again. But one driver who has gone under the radar this race, look in the 3rd position, that's Mitch Jurnowski, has come up from the back and has now put himself in the 3rd position behind that 00 Dodge Charger of Matthew Fordran. And it's going to be interesting to see what this number 7 can do.
Yeah, absolutely. See once again, Brennan Forseal up there at the front. Pace car lights are off. And how about you bring us back to green, Noah, for I believe the 3rd time.
Brennan Purcell is going to be the man up in front. Matthew Vorndrana is outside. Jernowski and Andrews is going to be row number 2. Going back green. Purcell, Vorndrana. It's all up to them now. We're going to go back green here at Myrtle Beach. And Purcell out to once again a commanding lead. The number 7 now is trying to get up to that second position all night long. He's looking for first now. Now, getting to the inside of Vorndrana. Puts the nose in, can't quite get there. Let's see if he'll clear the 0-0 off of turn number 4. Can't quite. 0-0 into the wall, contact.
Let's take a look from the hood of the number 7 of Mitch Drunowski as he battles once again with Vordrain to his outside, door to door down the back straightaway into 3. Hard racing here for the front 3 leaders.
Drunowski looks like he has been through this time and time again. That 82 now, that is exactly what you want to see if you're Brennan Purcell or Dran now. Stuck on that outside line, Drunowski is getting closer and closer to clearing that number 0-0 of Dran. Just cannot quite get there down the front straightaway.
Door handle to door handle is the number 7 and the number 0-0 battling for that second position. Fighting hard. Now these drivers, as we mentioned, were back at the back end of the field only momentarily ago. Finding the way back up to the front is the number 7.
Now fitting that the 2 candy cars up in front is Kit Kat versus Reese's now. On the left side of that number 7 you can see, and on the hood of the 0-0. But right now, look at Jernowski. Look at how aggressive he's driving into 3 and 4, trying to get to the 82 of Purcell, and he might get there in that number 7 Oldsmobile. And he is just absolutely knocking on heaven's door of the 82 of Purcell. Now, looking to the inside, the 82 almost slips up, can't quite get there.
Looking at the back bumper from the number 82 machine, let's see, this is late model stock racing on a short track as Mitch looks like he might be blinking out just a bit. His connection may be suffering from all this short track racing. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the number 21 to see where he's progressing through the field. He's found his way back up to 4th. Right behind him is Tracy Petter as well on the back end of the top 5.
And it looks like Tracy Petter has found something once again. They fought their way back up front. They were sitting, I believe, in the 12th position when we restarted this race on lap 37, and now he's trying to get by the 21 of RJ Williams. And like you said, you kind of want a convoy up in front. You don't really want to fight the guy in front of you. You just want to get there and try to get a packed breakaway as you're chasing down the 0-0, the 7, and the 82. As you can see, the 82 struggling to hold off the number 7 of Jernowski, and this might be the shot for the lead right here.
This is kind of like one of those things where we talk about in short track racing. It's almost like playing chess with the driver in front. You have 2 odds that you have to try to deal with in short track racing. 1, you want to get to the front, you want to lead every lap. But 2, you also have to deal with that tire wear. When you decide to use and cash in on that tire wear to opportune yourself into a better position is what you have to try to figure out and balance between a race.
And we are almost halfway done here with the South Carolina 400. Jernowski now trying to get to the inside of the 82. This is an amazing battle for the lead here as they are side by side coming down the back straightaway. Contact with wall with the 82, and that's going to give the 7 an opportunity to clear. Mitch Jernowski finally gets a lead here in Myrtle Beach.
Mitch Jernowski drove it hard into turn 3 to try to clear the number 82, as you mentioned, who got into the wall. So now a new leader here at Myrtle Beach Speedway is Mitch Jernowski falling back to 2nd. Brennan Purcell, Matt Vordrain in 3rd with a hard-charging number 21, RJ Williams on his back door.
And then there's almost a 0.8 of a second gap between 3rd and 1st position of Mitch Jernowski. And that number 21 is leaving everything on the track right now, breathing down the back bumper of the 0-0 of Matt Vordrain. And let's see what this number 21 can do as he is working on the night moves here in Myrtle Beach.
Looking at the right side bumper here, looking down the back of the number 0-0 once again.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're the 79 of Tracy Petter, as these two going at it right here. 2 very well put together drivers up in front as they're now getting ready to swallow up the 82 of Brennan for Seal. But right now, Drunowski commanding the pace of this race, and it definitely looks like it has slowed down a lot as these drivers are trying to last as long as they can on these tires, hoping for a late race caution, their opportunity to pounce on some fresh Hoosier tires.
And I think you kind of called it there, Noah, that I think these drivers, while they are still competing and looking for an opportune time, they've kind of just settled in just a little bit here. We see that at Myrtle Beach Raceway or Speedway. A lot of times as you kind of get to a spot where you feel comfortable in, you feel like at any point you could charge from here, but you're just looking at the laps. You got 68 laps down, 57 laps to go, just past halfway. You've got still quite a bit of time to save your tires and just kind of ride for a little bit. Out-compete somebody through tire wear instead of outright on the racetrack.
Absolutely. One thing I will say about the number 7 up in front, you can see how smooth he is. He has found his line. He's got some space. It's a double zero now. Almost makes contact with the number 21 of RJ Williams. And that number 21, it might be time for go time for that number 21 machine as he is going to try to roll on with the 79 of Tracy Petter.
Tracy Petter looking to see if he can advance his position back from 4th all the way up a few more. He sees 2 spots in front of him, but he's also got to try to figure out, man, is this the time to go? These guys are driving oh so hard. Is it really worth, in case those 2 guys in front of you slip up, is it worth it?
You're watching the 79, obviously. He wants that double zero to kind of get hung out to drive on the 21. You can see, look how much he pounced on that opportunity there as he's going to try to get a twofer. Can't quite get there, going down into 3 and 4. Tracy Petter is just working on this number 21, and Matt Bourdran has fallen off from 2nd in this race, almost getting the lead. He has now fallen back all the way to 5th position, is now under threat for the 27 of Brian Johnson.
Looking at the way these race cars get into the corners, you see a couple different lines. RJ Williams all the way down to the paint into 3 and 4 and into 1. You kind of see a more open entry from RJ Williams in 4th and 5th. Matt Bourdran just maybe a little bit wider into 1. So different ways to get around this racetrack, and it kind of has different advantages as well.
And you can see how much earlier the 21 of Williams is coming up to the wall compared to the 71. Look how much earlier the 79 gets down, and the 21 is getting in a lot later to get to the middle inside of the track, as now he's going to look to the 82 of Brennan for Seal and try to grab the 2nd position. But right now, it is all Mitch Drunowski up in front, and he almost has a 2nd now for his lead.
Let's go ahead and take an opportunity to go back through the field. Mitch Drunowski in 1st, Brennan for Seal once again in 2nd. RJ Williams finds himself in 3rd, and Tracy Petter 4th. Matt Bourdran in 5th, Kyle Martin in 6th, Brian Johnson in 7th. 8th, Ray Andrews. 9th, Kyle Flynn. We just see lap down cars there as well with Kyle Flynn. 9th, Marco Berube.
Give Stephen Heights in the 10th position, and the 11th is going to be Evan Amick. 12th is going to be Kyle Flynn, and DNF is going to be Justin Walbring, the number 127 machine, in an unfortunate end early on for that number 127.
Yeah, Justin Walbring, who got into an incident earlier on in this race. Let's go ahead and again take a look at maybe some of the images from inside the car from our leader here. Let's see what he's fighting inside the race car. Let's look at the hand placement on the wheel. Is he really trying to wrestle that car around this racetrack, or is he smooth and steady on the throttle and on the wheel?
He's definitely working it coming off of the corners. You can see there, it's just smooth as butter coming down the front straightaway, getting into the corners. It looks like he's struggling mostly in the middle and coming off of turn number 2, but it looks great everywhere else. So turn 2 might be the struggle for the 7 of Mitch Drunowski right now, as he is currently the 2nd fastest car on track. But right now, he's grabbed 2nd position. He was up front early on. He can get up front again. RJ Williams now the fastest car on track with a 19.2, but he's under threat from Tracy Petter in the number 79.
Tracy Petter looking down to the inside. That last corner around on RJ Williams. Let's see if he utilizes that shortcut of the front straightaway, getting into 1 to try to advance his entry right there on the back bumper of the 21.
79 now looking for another opportunity down the back straightaway. He's got the quarter panel, and he has his number. The 79 of Petter trying to get to the inside of the 21. He's going to get there. Tracy Petter now eyeing for that second position and trying to get up front early on and trying to chase down the 7 of Mitch Drunowski. And this is exactly what you want to see if you're the number 7, is the second place car just battling it out. Oh, the 50 contact in the pits. That's a 99.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
Like he got spun going in.
Yeah, I saw the 51 that was slow in the back straightaway. Oh. And Evan Amick with nowhere to go.
Wow. You can take a look at that again. That was just a chain reaction.
Let's take a look from the roof of Evan Amick. This may give us a good view of what we saw from the 99 and the 51. Evan Amick way up the racetrack, up in the marbles almost.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, 51 just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like, once again, just not clear for the 51. And what do they call it? Windshield D?
Yeah. Yep.
Was the number 77.
That is just unfortunate for the 77. Not the night you want to have your Evan and Mick in your home race, the South Carolina 400, and it's like he's going to try to make it down to pit road, and you can see that left front not moving at all for the number 77. He's going to try to drive it back into pit road here.
Back to some of the other cars, the number 51 as well. Maybe not as much damage as some of the others. He may be okay here. We were talking about the 77 of Evan Amick as well. He had already used a fast repair. He may be done for the night.
I believe the 77 had already used his fast repair, so we'll see what happens there. The 99 looks like he's going to be the first car to be taking tires. Well, this is starting to get interesting here. Everyone coming down pit road now. We'll see what everyone's going to take here. Let's keep an eye on the 21 of RJ Williams. He was one of the fastest cars this race. Let's see what he's going to take here. If it's just fuel or if it's just tires. The 82 taking tires. The 21 taking them. Everybody coming down pit road and taking tires. And it looks like the 79 going to be the first car off of pit road. And let's see how that's going to play out. Tracy Petter to the lead.
We were wondering about the tire conservations, saving that set for the end. We have got down to 41 to go. We're probably going to have about 38 to go by the time we take the green flag. This set is not going to have to go nearly as far as the first, and it is going to be an all-out brawl to the finish of the Myrtle Beach 400.
And one thing I've noticed about all of these cautions is these are massive wrecks here. I think all of these cautions have involved 2 or more cars. So a couple cars already out of contention. The first one was the 127 of Justin Walbring. We'll see if the 77 can get off of pit road. But right now, Tracy Petter, I got to applaud the man. He has fought all night long to get up front, and he finally is going to have that first position. And that number 7 machine of Mitch Drunowski is going to have to fight his way back up as he is now in the 6th position.
Yeah, Mitch Drunowski, I wonder, we saw some of the leaders up front taking just right side tires during that pit stop. I believe I saw the number 7 taking 4. So that may be an interesting strategy. Oftentimes in short track racing, especially on the sim, it is almost more advantageous just to take right side tires, but with the excessive tire wear that we have here at this racetrack, all 4 may not be a bad call.
No, and Drunowski, obviously, he played his cards right. He was conservative, and he waited till the guys up front began to mess up and began to slip back. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to fight back up. And right now, Tracy Petter is going to be commanding the field as pace car lights are going to be out here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
New boots on almost all the cars on the racetrack. This, as we mentioned, is going to be an all-out brawl to the finish. 38 laps to go. Pace car lights are out. Leaders, Tracy Petter and RJ Williams leading to the green flag as they make their way down through 3. Off into 4. And into the restart box. Within the restart box. We are green once again on Myrtle Beach.
Petter and Williams are going to be the men up in front. Right now, Petter gets out to an early lead. We're going to see what Williams is going to do. Is he going to track that number 79 down? Is he going to fight and try to just absolutely wear out his tires? Because he knows there's only 37 laps left. It is go time. If you were all these drivers, you can see how much he is pushing the limits of that number 21 Pontiac Firebird, as he is now going to try to get to the rear bumper of Tracy Petter.
Yeah, we talked about him pushing the race car. I think we saw him push it just a little bit too far. Brush the wall ever so slightly off the front straightaway. I don't think it's going to hurt that number 21 machine as he continues to hound the 79 of Tracy Petter.
Williams now is falling back just a little bit. It's about a 3-car length gap now between him and Petter. Verseal now trying to get in there. Martin trying to get in. Dranowski now has fought back up from 6th. He is now in the 5th position. We're going to see how those 4 tires are going to play out. It doesn't look like the 7 is quite up to speed yet and doesn't have about as much grip as he wants, but he is trying to get these Hoosier tires worn in to get him up front where he needs to be.
Yeah, while it's only 33 laps to go, tire wear is still going to be a factor, so he may still have that in his back pocket, knowing that on the long run he is going to have just a little bit more car at the end of this. He may just be waiting like a shark in the water for things to start to heat up front and then capitalize when the moment is right.
Well, Ryan, I will say one thing that is interesting. Take a look at the lap times and how much they have dropped off. When this race started, it was in the 0.2 of a second. But right now, the fastest car on track, it's a 13 of Kyle Martin with almost a 19 flat, a 19.104. He is now the fastest car on track in the 4th position, trying to chase down the 82 of Brendan Verseal.
On board with the number 13 of Kyle Martin here. Congo line up here at the front. Patience 1, 2, 3, and 4 all stacked up single file as they make their way down the front straightaway. Kyle Martin may be looking to make a dive here on the 82. He does. Kyle Martin looking for 3rd.
Martin now is in the 3rd position, trying to chase down the 21 of RJ Williams, who they tangled early on. Pick the tango again, and right now he is just the fastest car on track, setting the best time so far. His last lap was a 19.313. But right now, Tracy Petter commanding this race. And look at the 7, getting his nose in there, and he is trying to get to the 3rd position. And here comes Mitch Dranowski once again, trying to make another appearance up front.
Mitch Dranowski is on the charge. He's made his way all the way up to 4th. After that last caution, he is once again making his way to the lead.
Petter up in front, 3-car lengths is still the gap between him and RJ Williams. Kyle Martin in the 3rd position. Dranowski is going to be 4th, and Brendan Verseal is going to be in the 5th position. You can see with these new tires how much they are able to just sling this car into the corners and just get as much grip as they can. And look at this number 7, just waiting for the 13 to mess up. And you can see trying to look down the inside, can't quite get there. That number 13, a little bit of damage there, that's not going to stop him. He's going to chase down the number 21 just the same as he did early on.
Number 7, Mitch Dranowski with just a little bit more tire. He may be able to stick it just a little bit lower as there is a massive checkup with the 13 of the 21. Mitch Dranowski able to find that checkup and react to it. All cars remain intact as they make their way down into 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway.
Martin looking, can't get their contact between him and the 21. Dove it about as deep as he could there, and that's going to open up the door for Mitch Dranowski once again, looking down to the inside into 1 and 2, and that number 13 is going to slam the door shut, but it looks like it just got open again. Here comes Mitch Dranowski looking for 3rd.
13, Kyle Martin, and almost a 4-wheel slide off the 2nd turn that last time around. He's trying to hold off the 7, but the 7 is having none of it. He gets into the wall, contact down the front straightaway.
Martin contact with the wall. Dranowski now looking for the 3rd position. Looks like he's going to get it down the back straightaway. Tracy Petter now sitting great up in front. A 0.5 of a second lead here. 23 laps to go here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Contact between the 7 and the 23. And looks like this battle for 3rd is starting to heat up as the 13 is going to go way wide into turn number 2.
A driver who is almost loving it, or is he hating what he sees in front of me, is the number 82 of Brennan Forseal. He loves to see them battling so hard, but thinks of what could potentially happen if the two of them make just a little bit too much contact.
Brennan Forseal trying to find any opportunity he can to stick it in the middle. Contact between the 7 and the 13. It looks like the 13 had a little bounce off the wall. Coming down the first straightaway, now you can see this is just an amazing battle to watch between these two as they've run side by side now for almost the last, 10, 15 laps? An amazing battle here between Martin and Drunowski.
You can see it from the roof cam here. They are not afraid to rub a little bit of doors coming off the corner, and sometimes just what you got to do in late model stock racing to make contact. Not a whole lot of horsepower in these machines. So some of your best advantages is that right side door. Try to push somebody out of the way and advance your position. Mitch Drunowski moves up to third.
The 13 got up in the a contact between the 13 and the 7. Drunowski spins. It's going to take out Forseal as well. The 13 around. Caution flag is out with 19 to go here at Myrtle Beach. And the top 4 cars have been taken out. Wow.
Noah, we have been seeing that intensity building and building for the last several, 15, 20 laps along this event, and I think it eventually, finally, bowled over to 13, getting spun around off the 4th turn.
And let's see where it all started to brew right there. You can see the 13 up into the marbles right there. Gives the 7 the opportunity to get up front there. Gets to the left front quarter panel of the 13. Let's see what happens here. Wow, just a big send there.
Just a little bit of contact to that rear bumper, and is all it took for the 7 to go around.
Took out the 00 as well. The 22 barely avoided that one. A lot of contact up in front. We're going to see who that's going to eliminate, and that is not what you wanted to see. If you're Tracy Petter and you had RJ Williams at about a 6/10 of a second lead there, and that is not what you wanted to see. Is this field getting bunched up? Cars on pit road.
Just going to try to take a look at the front bumper as we look at the back bumper of Brennan Forseal. From the back bumper of Brennan Forseal, that front nose on the number 7 quite wrinkled up. That is certainly going to affect his aerodynamic performance getting to the corner. If we were talking about a tight race car before, it is most certainly going to be a tight race car now for the number 7.
It doesn't look like the 7 has used his quick repair, and there you can see right there he is gone, and he is right back out on the pit road. And the 7, he had saved that, and that was just a excellent pit stop there for the number 7. And he is going to be right back out on track.
And just like that, back in contention. He's got a long ways to go. He's going to be starting at the back of the field once again. Short track rules, so he and the other car involved, the 13, is going to be receiving an EOL and starting at the back. But I'm sure it won't be very long before we see the number 7 machine up at least towards the front. We'll have to see only eventually if he can make it back to the top 3.
And Drunowski is just a resilient driver, and he is just fought his way up front from the back of, and he's going to have to do it all over again, and he's done it twice, and obviously he can do it again. And there are going to be 15 to go here. It looks like it's when we go back green. And Kyle Flynn, I would say, if you're Kyle Flynn, this is definitely a interesting first start for the 22. It has been a long race and a decent amount of cautions here for that number 22, but he stayed resilient. He's in the 7th position now. One of the first cars to take 4 tires. So we're going to see how well that's going to play out for the number 22.
And I think if you're the 22, you've done just as you should. You've kind of had just a little bit of a quiet night. He's sitting there in 8th. Has not really been involved in much. Has not been in much controversy here tonight. That's kind of what you ask for a first time if you're out. Just quiet. Get a feel for all the cars. Get a feel for everybody around you. And make it memorable for sure.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed about the 22, it's been a bit tough for him to kind of settle in where he's at. He's been up front, he's been in the back. He's kind of settled now in the 9th position, trying to get back up front as he was almost involved in that massive pileup in turn 4. It's going to be interesting to see how that 22 is going to get his way up front again, as he's got Kyle Martin and Brennan for Seal in front of him. It's going to be interesting to see how that 22 is going to operate here.
Getting stacked up and back ready for this restart. Once again, RJ Williams has found his way up to the front. He's going to be the leader on the outside, electing that outside in front of Tracy Petter to his in. And we are green once again here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Tracy Petter able to get ahead of that number 21 machine. They follow back in line, 79, as they make their way back onto the backstretch. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars all in line. Once again, first battle on the track is the 27 and the 51 as they battle for the 4th position. High and wide is the 51 as they go down the 4th straightaway. Maybe brushing the wall just a little bit, but it is intense here for 4th, 5th, 6th place.
Williams tried the cross out there on the restart, just could not quite get there and get under the 79 of Petter. It is now about a car length, not even a car length now, as that 21 has closed that gap tremendously. Look at the 7 of Jernowski setting it 3 wide into turn number 1. Still saying 3 wide here as we come off of turn number 2.
Oh, and there's contact once again.
Philip House for Seal into the wall. 51 into the wall again, Ray Andrews. With 11 laps to go, that's going to shake things up a lot here in Myrtle Beach.
Certainly not the night that Ray Andrews was wishing either. Had kind of kept it relatively clean for most of the night. Contact here as they go 3 wide. Mitch Drunowski on the bottom, Brennan Forseal on the middle, meeting the sandwich, and just ran out of room with the 51 to his outside. See if we can get an idea.
All culminating there. Yeah, it was just all coming together with that 3 wide. Maybe you can see right where the 77 tires would go. Right about there. You can see the 77 on the inside. So the 51 now stuck in the middle. And just hard contact there for the 82.
Fortunately, really, I mean, he got sandwiched up into the wall, but I don't think that right front is going to be all too bad per se. It didn't look like he really hit it much. He just kind of got squished into it, more or less.
By Andrews, minimal damage to that number 51 machine. You can see a little bit of right side damage there. Let's see if he'll come down pit road. Looks like he's going to stay out. So Andrews still on track.
Well, we're getting down to the wire here, Evan. Noah, as we get 10 laps to go now, it's probably going to be about 8 or 7 as we take the green flag. So lap time is winding down, and there may not be any time to go on to the pits, man. Just got to take what you can get here towards the end of this event.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Tracy Petter is going to hold off this 21. And Williams commanded this race early on, but Petter has now set the pace up front, and he's led the last couple of laps. So we're going to be interesting to see how he holds off that number 21 Pontiac Firebird. As we're going to be about 8 or 7 laps to go here when we go back green.
That beautiful green Firebird that we see there in the number 21 machine. Not many Pontiac Firebirds you see on the late model stock, but that is certainly one that deserves just beautiful, beautiful car is that number 21 machine.
It's Carolina Craft Cannabis on the side and Huffman Racing Podcast on the back. Sounds like a great Saturday night for the 21 of RJ Williams, but right now the 00 of Orange Ran. Look at how resilient that 00 is and all the damage that is on that car. He has just stuck it to the man. He has stayed resilient, stayed up front, and has not let anyone by him. And that 00 Dodge Charger commanding that 3rd position and has not let it go yet. But someone who's gone under the radar, Ryan, let's take a look at the number 27 of Brian Johnson. He stayed quiet a lot of this race, but he's let the attrition happen and is now finds himself in the 4th position. Going to be interesting to see how that number 27 handles this up front pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Johnson doing an excellent job here tonight. Really has not had much much issue with any other drivers. Kind of kept it clean, kind of kept it quiet, and that's all you can ask for once again for a driver here. Over 125 laps. You cannot afford to get into scuffles with the driver, because at one point or another, it's going to come back to bite you.
Going back green here at Myrtle Beach, off of turn 2. This could be the last caution. There could be many more, Ryan, but 6 laps to go. 5 when we get to the line. Let's see how this 79 of Petter is going to try to hold off RJ Williams. Lead us back to green, Ryan.
Door handle to door handle. They come up their way through the restart zone, back into the green flag. The 79 gets an excellent jump. The 21 looking to see if he can slip down behind him. Tracy Petter continues front. RJ Williams in second. Matt Fortrain battles for fourth, but the number 7 of Mitch Drunowski looks down to his inside as they make their way through 3 and 4. Mitch trying to use that throttle, maybe kick the back end a little bit, trying not to get tight and up into the door of the number 00.
You can see how much faster these cars have gotten now. It is go time for the 21 of RJ Williams and the 7 of Mitch Drunowski. Williams trying to chase down the 79 of Tracy Petter. Petter off of turn 4. It's going to be 3 laps to go at the line.
Tracy Petter holding tough out there in the lead of the 21, trying to see if he has anything at all for the number 79 machine. He's going to maybe try to set up a pass down here into 3 and 4. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to have 2 laps to go, crossing the line now. Popsicle sticks in the air. 123 laps in, 2 laps to go at Myrtle Beach.
2 laps to go. Tracy Petter is the man up in front. Not even half a car length is the gap between him and RJ Williams. RJ led early on in this race. He came so close to commanding the rest of it, but contact between him and the 13 of Kyle Martin, what we thought ended his hopes. Now, white flag this time by for Tracy Petter off of turn 2. The 79 put himself in a position to win. Into 3 and 4. The 21 going to show all he's got, but it's not going to be enough. Tracy Petter is going to win the South Carolina 400.
RJ Williams got close enough for maybe just an attempt at a bump, but was not able to get there. And what a fantastic showing for the number 79 as well as the 21. Petter is going to be the victorious at Myrtle Beach.
And what a win for the 79 of Petter. Exactly what he wanted tonight. Fought his way up. Stayed there. Commanded the pace of this race. And what a win for the 79 of Tracy Petter.
See a little bit of a congratulations from the number 7 of Mitch Drunowski, who brought it home in third. Looking through the field, Tracy Petter brings it home victorious. RJ Williams in second. Mitch Drunowski in third. Kyle Martin in fourth. Matt Verdrain in fifth. And Brian Johnson is going to come in sixth.
Greta Percilo is going to be in the 7th position. Ryan Andrews is going to be in the 8th position. Kyle Flynn in his first start here in the series is going to be in 9th position.
And that is going to close it out for tonight's event here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. 125 laps, battle for battle, door handle to door handle, but in the end it was Tracy Petter getting the victory, holding off RJ Williams and Mitch Drunowski in third. Noah, it's been a pleasure, and what a night for racing it has been. We're looking forward to our next event, which is going to be the Thanksgiving Classic, a Southern National Speedway for, once again, the late model stocks here coming up in the next week. And I can guarantee it is going to be one heck of a show, and I'm very much looking forward to it, as I'm sure you are, Noah Evans. And what do you think from tonight's race?
Man, it was a night full of action. I will say that. A lot of crazy cautions, but a lot of great racing, as we saw from guys like Mitch Drunowski and Tracy Petter. And I got to applaud RJ Williams coming from dead last, and he fought his way back up front. Just couldn't quite get there on the last lap, as Tracy Petter looks like doing his victory stuff. But an amazing night here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Well, to you and yours from the broadcast network for Grassroots Racing and the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. That is going to close us out for tonight. Tracy Petter gets it done, and we look forward to seeing you next week for the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National.